I'm Lisa Dellwo, and I'm here with Katie Mosher, who's Communications Director for North Carolina Sea Grant, and we're at Science Online 2001 at the Sigma Xi headquarters in Research Triangle Park. And what brings you to the conference every year, Katie?
I just find it a very exciting and invigorating session, and it's so thrilling to have it right here in the Research Triangle, since my office is based at NC State University. So I'm right here. Our program focuses on the North Carolina coast, but we look at it as the coast being a resource for the entire state, and we happen to be based here, but we have offices in Manio, Moorhead, and Wilmington. I have met folks recently from Dublin, within the last 2 days, Dublin and London and Minnesota and Utah and California, and it's just a great place for people to come together and pull a lot of thoughts and expectations of what will be coming down the pike.
Great. So when we talked earlier, you mentioned that it seemed to you that science blogging and science journalism was drawing closer together, and I wonder if you could explain that a little bit.
Yes, I have attended this conference, and I've attended the science writers meetings, which are a combined meeting of the National Association of Science Writers and the Council for the Advancement of Science Writing. And over time, I have seen more of what have been the quote-unquote traditional journalists coming to this conference as it moved from just being science blogging to be science online, and more of the bloggers attending the science writers and defining themselves as a science writer. And it's just very interesting as those are coming together, because the traditional media, the more traditional meaning print and broadcast journalists, are finding the online opportunities. Some stories are just online, and some stories are expanded online. They can get an initial piece in print or on the radio or on TV, and then they can give you so many more details, or a full length of an interview, or links to so much more information to go to the original research data that can be available online. And the bloggers are an interesting lot, because you're hearing from the scientists themselves, but blogging, the definition of blogging is changing. So some of the traditional journalists that say they do not have an opinion on things are using a blog format to share information, yet you also have bloggers that are coming forward with a particular opinion and sharing their opinions and thoughts and values. And it's just a whole interesting realm of people coming, or convergence of the groups coming together.
And are you using blogging at Sea Grant?
We don't blog on a regular specific basis. There are some of our researchers that are looking at as opportunities. We use a blogging format when we're putting out our newsletters. But I would say it is definitely a staffing issue. We're interested in putting more online. We have a more traditional website. But we're looking at opportunities to do more updating. So rather than blogging, what we are doing more of is using the social media like Facebook, to be able to identify and highlight issues that are more detailed information that's available from some of our products or some of our events, and what we're co-sponsoring, and things that our partners are doing, and things that our researchers are doing. Projects that we have funded, or sometimes projects that we fund an initial small piece, and then those results generate additional research. And so we're interested in what follows down the road, the kind of progeny of research and results that have come out.
Well, speaking of research and results, maybe you could spend a few minutes telling us about some projects that Sea Grant is up to right now.
Okay. We have, Sea Grant overall, we fund research at that's available to any of the faculty at universities across the state. So we fund from the research or universities here in the Triangle, those at the coast, even those farther west like Charlotte or Greensboro or A&T. And then we also have extension staff that work on projects as well. There are a couple, one that I think is pretty interesting that we have looked at is with the concerns about some of the overfishing, but yet information needed on the role of seafood availability or seafood in people's diets, is what is the role of aquaculture. And so we have done some work looking at what potential there can be for flounder aquaculture, and that's being done with research here in the Triangle at NC State, as well as in actual testing how it works as a commercial production, say in Duplin County or somewhere where they can be doing them, create saltwater environments in tanks. So it's that is one aspect where it's bringing together and looking at the research, the specific research, or what happens with temperature and how they grow and what actually can be done on a marketing place. The another one on campus here is Rocky Branch, which is a stream that has been restored, and Barbara Dahl on our staff has led that work over the course of about 10 years, and now that stream is being a model to identify what are the metrics for a good stream restoration. So how is that stream, when they've taken it out of the culverts and actually allowing it to flow in a more natural channel, and it has a floodplain and it's not just runoff going into a ditch, what that does for the water quality, what it does for the ecosystem, the microorganisms, the insects, the other wildlife in the area. So that's something that we're just really thrilled to be working with.
Good. So finally, what do you say to people who think that federal funding for science needs to be cut in these times of austerity?
Well, there are tough times for everyone. The program that we work with is very applied science, so we are looking at when people come to us for funding, or we're looking at doing projects, we look at specific needs. So it may be things such as water quality, or things such as mitigation of potential hazards from storms coming in or sea level rise, how to encourage the dunes to be able to stay in place so that when a storm comes in, what will happen. So if in the fact that science is useful, it is when there's an actual application and a need, an identified need, and those are the areas that we like to work with. We also are excited that the research, much of the research that we have available or we fund, can be available for teachers to use with their students online. So when students are learning science in anywhere from the elementary, middle, high school, college level, that they can be looking at data and being able to begin to look at it and analyze it and be able to find out what it really means with real life situations. Or they can actually go out, and in some cases we have high school students that can collect data on blue crabs or on different things and oyster larvae and report it back in, and citizen science, which we think is really important to bring the community and the researchers together.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. I'll let you get back to your sessions now.
Thank you.